My experience having been around some of the injured veterans is mostly they just want people to appreciate what they sacrificed. Not unduly, but just a helping hand, a nod, a thank you, whatever. And so we think Operation Lakeshore is just capstone in our partners' way of expressing the gratitude we feel for the sacrifices they have made in our behalf.
When I woke up, it was Christmas morning. I remember thinking, you know, I don't know where I am, but it must be somewhere safe because my parents were there.
Paralyzed me from the neck down. I was diagnosed a quadriplegic.
My mother was pretty much like any other mother. She was worried about her baby boy.
I was 20 years old when it happened. So at that age, when you're 20, you're a young guy, you're in the military, you got a great body, you got a little cash in your pocket, you know, you kind of feel invincible.
It's like all of a sudden I was an infant again, and she was just trying to do it all. And while she was crying, she said, I'm gonna have to go back to work. You know, you're never gonna get better if I'm here.
You know, you get through combat and you're like, ha, you know, I'm the man. And then bang, something happens. You can go to really dark places. You can get really, really depressed.
I am truly honored and humbled, you know, each time I encounter a new participant because each story is different. Each person comes from a different walk of life. The majority of these men and women, you know, looked at this as serving as their, you know, prime, you know, workplace. This is what they were going to make their career. And here they are, you know, that career cut short due to these injuries. And so what better way to get them back into, you know, normalcy and, you know, healthy, active living than through our sports and recreation programs.
With the war in Iraq and Afghanistan, with all the veterans that have come back injured, you know, you have a lot of men that, you know, like myself, were very physical before we were injured. Now that we're injured, we're wanting to get back into that active life.
When you come to these military camps that provide that support and that love for the veteran to teach them that there's something they can do after a tragic accident, it creates hope.
To go from the hospital setting to home and to be somewhere where they're not in a hospital setting, but they're still around other veterans and families, I think that's very important, because then they're able to go through that experience together and learn from it and adapt to it.
Having your family there next to you while you're through this, it's good to have it around. I think they're also part of the part of your injury and the whole rehabilitation. They're suffering through it as well. It would have been great to have my family here, daughter running around. She usually loves this stuff because it also puts them in a better position because, let's face it, you're going to be hanging out with this group of people all the time, and if you can have your kids getting used to it at an early age, hey, that guy has a prosthetic, all this, they understand, and they usually help out. It's not an easy thing to go through, and having your family there to support you, everybody should have their family there.
It's also important that the families see their injured loved one is able to do things that they might not think still possible.
Colston's very funny about my injury. One day we were going down the road, he's in the back seat, and he's asking me to get him this, give him that. And I'm like, buddy, I can't, I'm driving. And he says, oh yeah, you just have one arm, and just laughs hysterically.
Friends and family, I cannot begin to explain to you how important it is for them to keep pushing you, to help you find that motivation again, to be inspired again, to continue to do sports. Sports is like a gateway. You get back out into the community.
And you're starting to see more and more athletes emerge with disabilities. And you know, you got these veterans who are starting to engage in things like the Paralympics. And Lakeshore Foundation is one of our nation's Olympic and Paralympic training sites. And one of the advantages that these cottages will serve is having not only the veterans there with their families, but they can stay there for a longer time and not only have these dreams of competing in the Paralympics, but actually start training.
Naturally, you want to protect your loved ones. You don't want to see them get hurt again. But you know what? Whether you're able-bodied or you have a disability, there's always risk of injury after that, you know? And we know that, but we're here to try and help the family be more comfortable with that, be more comfortable with life after injury, and to know that, again, life doesn't stop.
But it's also really good to have a place that these families can come together and not only be there to support their veteran, but to interact with each other. So it's great to bring these families together and have them grow and heal as one. Children as well, spending time with each other and talking about their fathers and their mothers and what they've gone through.
I want every participant of our programs to leave here not only seeing, but personally knowing that they can do anything that they want to do.
As we all know, there are many worthwhile causes, but I have not found a cause yet where someone volunteered to put themselves in harm's way for my benefit. So that's why I'm so passionate about trying to help the men and women who come to the Lakeshore Foundation and who will live in the Lakeshore cottages. I feel a deep sense of gratitude to the men and women who have served, and especially those who are injured in defending our way of life.